Hey everyone, it's Luis Alcaraz. Welcome back to a fabulous episode of videos. And before we even get started, please remember to always hit the notification bell, guys, to keep coming new videos every video I post. And if you're interested, guys, please hit that subscribe button. Today, guys, we're going to be talking about a really complex topic. I know it's a lot to cover, known as Wi-Fi troubleshooting. Coming up, you guys. And what we're going to be talking about today is, well, first of all, please remember before we start that this video is only intended as a source of learning or information. As an informational source, please always rely on your tech support or internet provider or specialist for more assistance. But today, guys, with the frequently asked questions we're going to be talking about today is, why am I not able to connect my device on Wi-Fi? Such as a tablet, a phone, Android, laptop, whatever, right? Why is it not connecting to Wi-Fi? That's really the first questions I always get, right? And now the second question is, why is my Wi-Fi connection always so slow? Either it's too weak, I'm not able to play games, even download videos. My Wi-Fi signal or connection is always weak. I know a lot of people really get frustrated. I am totally one of those, right? The other two questions I get here is, how do I change my router's username, password, all right? And the last question here I commonly get is, how do I disable wireless protective setup, also known as WPS, on your router, or that green light you see, or is it something to worry about, all right? As well as other troubleshooting. All coming up in a video, guys. Stay tuned. Coming up. All right, guys. So welcome. So I hope you guys really enjoyed the video. So the first troubleshooting question here is we're going to talk about is, why am I not able to connect my device to Wi-Fi? All right, such as a laptop, smartphone, tablet, Android, whatever. You're not able to connect. You get the not able to connect to that error icon. Now, the first culprit, all right, I'm going to be honest with you, is you want to make sure your Wi-Fi is on, all right? So, settings are different for all devices, but you're typically going to go to settings and network. You want to make sure when you're going to click the checkbox, you want your Wi-Fi to be on, okay? You want to make sure your Wi-Fi is on. Now, the second culprit is, if you're not able to connect, and if you recently just changed your username, known as your SSID or your password or your passphrase, it probably means you have the wrong username and password. Now, if you feel like you're not going to be able to remember your username or your password, I would grab a pen and write it down on a paper or some kind of thing. All right. Now, like I say, it probably means you have the wrong username. So please remember you have the right username and password. Now, another frequently asked question, and I see this very common here, is you probably have the wrong security setting, known as the Wi-Fi encryption type, all right? Now, there's 6 types of security I see on Wi-Fi, okay? We got none, all right? We got enhanced open. We got WEP. We got WPA2 personal, we got WPA3 personal, and we got WPA enterprise, all right? Now, it's different for every router, all right? The security. Some use enhanced open, some use the enterprise, like, if you're in professional, whatever. I don't even know what that is, but you're typically going to want WPA2 personal, all right? For most standard connections, you're going to want WPA2 personal. Now, if you try all that, you should be able to connect. Just remember to have Wi-Fi on and to have your right username and password. All right. Now, the other FAQs I get, and I see this a lot. All right. Especially for me, because I'm like a big YouTube video maker. Right. I can make 3, 4, or 5 YouTube videos in one day. Typically don't do it very often, but I am a big YouTuber. If you have a slower internet connection, now I'm not talking about like, Cox high-speed internet. if you don't have like a high speed internet, you have something a little slower, like CenturyLink or you have something a little bit slower, and you try to download a bunch of videos at the same time, your connection is definitely going to slow down. I can tell you that in my experience, it really does affect it. Now, there's some other basic troubleshooting, but the basic troubleshooting I always see, please remember your cable, to make sure your cables are plugged in all the way, all right? If your cables are sticking out, or the plugs are not plugged in all the way, it will do a false connection, and your Wi-Fi will be dropping, all right? Now, the main culprit, the troubleshooting I see, and this typically does involve a tech repair, or technician to come in your house, all right? If there's a problem with your Wi-Fi, such as because some routers are connected to your home phone line, all right? That's the way it works for some routers. And if your problem with the Wi-Fi is like in the, street where you live, or like in your P.O. box, or the motherboard, or the mother box, or which is known as the motherboard, if your problem is, like I said, in your P.O. box, your street, or your motherboard, you're typically not going to you're not going to get charged. Not for all type, but most techs. However, if the problem is inside your house, they're likely going to charge you. That can be a pain in the butt. I understand that. And they can charge you, you're probably going to get charged. And you are probably going to need a tech for that kind of issue. All right. If you think you're having that type of issue. All right. Now, the other questions I get is, how do I change my username, how do I change my router's SSID or password, all right? Before you even start, you want to make sure you are plugged into a yellow cable. Now, if you have an Android, you're probably going to have to do this off of a laptop or a PC, because the USB ports, I don't think they're really compatible with Android, right? So you plug in one end to the router, and you plug into the computer one end. Once you're connected to that yellow cable, what you're going to do is, in a web browser, all right, into your address bar, such as in a web browser, it can be Google, Firefox, whatever. You're going to type in different, it's different for every router. Some IP addresses, can be 192.168.11, or some could be 192.168.10, or whatever. It's different for every router. The one that commonly I see as a lot is for the IP address, you're going to type in 192.168.0.1. That's the most common one I've seen. All right. Now, like I said, it's different for every router. But once you type that into your address bar, you're gonna see something that's called modem configuration. All right. And once you're plugged into that yellow cable, you're gonna type in your administrator username or password. All right. And that's typically, if you've never reset your modem, if you just installed it like a couple years ago, you've never changed your username or password, it's probably going to be admin, ADMIN. Now, the password you typically leave blank, although some you type in admin for the password. However, if you do have an admin password, that's going to be typically found in the modem on the bottom. It has a sticker. You're typically going to find that information on the bottom, a sticker of your modem. All right. Now, the way you do this is you're going to type in the username and password for the admin. You're going to click apply. You're going to wait a couple minutes for the router to reset. Then you're going to type in the SSID. You can always change that. And then you're going to click apply. All right. Because once you type in that username and password, you're just able to go to you're going to go to wireless setup. But once you type in that username, the admin, you can go ahead and change it. Once you change your SSID, you're going to wait a couple minutes, for it to reset, right? And then you're going to type in the new password. This is optional. A lot of people change it every 90, 100 days. That's not really necessary. A lot of people say because security, safety, it's optional. You don't have to, but a lot of people do like to change their password, all right? Once you change that, you click apply. You're going to wait a couple minutes, maybe a minute or two. You should be good. And then remember to always just connect your other, you just remember once you're, change your username, password, to always connect your devices to that new Wi-Fi SSID and password. And you should be good to go. Now, the other frequently asked question I get is, how do I disable WPS, known as wireless protected setup, on my router? Is this something for me to panic? Now, you can do this. You plug in that yellow cable. You go to, what you're going to do is you're going to go to settings on you're going to go to your address bar again. You're going to type in 192.168.0.1. You're going to do the exact same thing. You're going to go to your address bar. You're going to type in the IP address. Then you're going to go to where it says wireless settings, and you're going to go to advanced setting. You're going to see WPS. You want to make sure you have it off. Now, however, WPS, I can tell you this, is not really something you should panic about, okay? A lot of people, I have it on my router. A lot of people have WPS on the router because it helps multiple devices be able to connect at once, and that's not really a bad thing, all right? So if you have WPS, you have that green light on your router, please do not panic. It is nothing to really worry about. You're going to be good, all right? All right, you guys, that's it for this video. But please remember, if you are having a internet problem, please don't hesitate to see a tech repair if you really are having a serious problem, and they could help you. They will be able to help you, hopefully, with your issue. All right, you guys, that's it for this video. A lot of likes. Subscribe with me. All right.